John November here with Citizens Not Serfs. We're with Commission candidate George Neugent, and we're here to ask him a few questions today. So I'm just going to start with the first question. When elected, would you vote to strengthen the 35-foot height ordinance, and would you vigorously oppose any effort to rescind the 35-foot maximum height limit for structures in Monroe County?
Well, first of all, good morning, and good morning to the listening audience, whomsoever that may be. John, I think my record is pretty clear on the 35-foot height limit. It is something that I have vigorously supported over the years. It's embedded in our comp plan. If there are things that we feel and come to the conclusion that would reinforce the strength of the comp plan by going to a referendum vote, for example, I certainly would support that. I think that the residents throughout the Keys, from Ocean Reef to Key West, recognize that the community character is something that we take very seriously, and I, as long as I'm on the County Commission, will support the position of a 35-foot height limit.
When elected, would you vote against all proposals for high-rise condos and hotels? And would you only appoint citizens to the Planning Commission, unalterably opposed to structures in excess of 35 feet?
Well, once again, I think that the planning commissioners that I have appointed to the Planning Commission, even though I take the approach that once my due diligence and research is done and interviewing that person, that they become their own person unless some type of egregious situation would occur where their votes would not reflect to a great degree my position on these issues. The 35-foot height limit is something that I always discuss with the people that I select to be on the Planning Commission, and to demand that they do and follow those rules. I'm not sure that we can even do that. However, by a vote of, once we put somebody on the Planning Commission, by a vote of 3 members of the Commission, we can remove that individual with or without cause from the Planning Commission. So that certainly would come into play if my appointment to the Planning Commission did something that I considered completely opposed to my political beliefs and support for community character.
When elected, would you vote for any action by the Commission that could lead to the expedited termination of the FEMA downstairs enclosure pilot inspection program?
I think when we discuss issues such as that, the one thing that will always be paramount to issues are the consequences on those who, such as those who have built legally and do not have the non-conforming quote-unquote illegal downstairs enclosure, should not be penalized in doing something that would impact the National Flood Insurance Program by either being removed and or an increase to penalties. Having said that, I think that once again my record reflects my efforts, my joint efforts with other members of the Commission and also with the Growth Management Department in always exploring ways to protect the downstairs enclosures. That is a very complex issue. I feel very somewhat concerned about what action the County Commission took that led by not appealing Judge Payne's ruling, because it compounded the problem as opposed to improving it. Many people thought that that was the law of the land. Homes were sold, the titles were exchanged, people bought things thinking that they were acquiring something that was a legal conforming downstairs enclosure that turned out, after the Judge Payne ruling was reversed, to see that they bought themselves a liability. I feel that this commission, and as previous commissions, that we've worked very hard, even before Citizens Not Serfs was established, in trying to protect as best we could without creating injustices to those folks who would be penalized for an increase in their flood insurance premiums. So I would do everything short of jeopardizing the National Flood Insurance Program.
When elected, would you vote for any action related to the county requesting that FEMA treat all Monroe County homeowners the same in regard to ending the inspection of downstairs enclosures triggered by the pulling of building permits in unincorporated Monroe County? Because it is inequitable that these inspections only affect 41% of Monroe County's total population.
I think the answer to that question is embedded in the previous question that I just answered. Again, we're going to do everything we can to do what's in the best interest of all of our residents of Monroe County. For 12 years now, we have been debating with FEMA, trying to get them to understand our situation and try to accommodate all, if not as many, of those who are impacted by this rule and the pilot inspection program that's in place right now. I think the best thing that we could do as a group is to complete the inspection program as we know it today, and then continue with a good floodplain management rules, paying attention to any and all new construction to prevent any violations to our rules. Now, the other thing that I think is quite evident, a lady approached me just the other day in the parking lot at the Big Pine Shopping Center who is being faced with this same problem. She asked me what she should do, should she get a lawyer, and I told her that my concerns were that she needs to pay attention. The answers that I was going to give her she probably wouldn't like, but lawyers are not going to resolve this problem in the lawsuits. We need to, as a commission, work with our residents, do as best we can an educational program, and finish this inspection program as we know it now, and then on a case-by-case basis move forward with these inspections, but not in a blanket, indiscriminate manner of requiring insurance companies to pull these inspections.
When elected, would you do everything in your power as commissioner to ensure the continuation of the Department of Community Affairs as the state land planning agency? And would you do everything in your power as commissioner to fight for the continued designation of the Florida Keys as an area of critical state concern, which prevents high-rise condos and hotels from being built in the Florida Keys?
Once again, I think my record reflects that I have been a strong supporter of the Department of Community Affairs. I've established a great relationship with the staff members and also the President's Secretary, and for that matter, secretaries in the past. I support DCA. I strongly support DCA, and I strongly support being designated an area of critical state concern until we achieve and go through the work program and do the things that are required to us by the state. And while doing that, putting in place in our comprehensive plan that we're redoing right now the necessary protections to ensure that forever in the Florida Keys that community character, protection of the natural resources, and protection of the environment in general will forever be controlled not by the elected officials but by the residents of Monroe County in the comp plan. That is the working document that protects into the future what we so find precious here in Monroe County.
All right, well, thank you for being with us here today.
Okay.
I appreciate it, and for more information, visit citizensnotserfs.com. Thank you.